What I'm going to do in this exercise is to zip or compress a completed assignment. Now, normally when you have your assignment, it's started in one of two ways. One, you can start the assignment from scratch where you create all the coding yourself. Or two, you may have started from a data file which was downloaded from the publisher uh, website. So you may have taken that data file from the publisher website, downloaded it to your computer, unzipped it, and then used those data files to as a starting point for your assignment. So let's look at that way first. So what I will do is I will take the zip file with the starting data files in it, and I will save that to my computer. After I've done that, and I'm using Windows, what I'll do is I'll unzip that or extract that. And after I've extracted that, I will find the file that I want to start and go ahead and start that particular project. So I'll find a file that I want to start, and I'll go ahead and start that. So once I have the starting assignment, what I can do is that I can make some changes to it. And say after I've made the changes and it's complete and it's working, I want to go ahead and test it. And make sure that everything's running properly. So say I've completed my assignment. Now an important point to remember is at this point do not save your form with a different name. Do not save it to a different folder. At this point you just want to save everything, and probably the safest thing to do is to save all. So you can do save all, click on the little icon, or you can click here and save all. And that will save everything that's in your folder. So you don't want to rename anything at this point. You don't want to make any changes to any of the names of the files in your solution. You just want to leave it as is. You can rename it later or you can refactor, but at this point it's important that you don't make any changes to any names of the files that are in your folder. Otherwise, it will have no idea what to do with that file that you've renamed, and it'll throw an error. So we've got this all finished. Now I'm going to use Windows Explorer to find the file that I changed. So if I look at it, I've got new pay solution. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that, and I can send that to a compressed or zip folder. And when I do at this point, I can go ahead and click on that, and I can see that everything's there the way that I want it. Okay, so I can rename it at this point if I wanted to something a little more descriptive. Say change it to okay. So I've got the folder which has been zipped, completely compressed and ready to go. So that's really all it takes to compress or zip a file. If you're not using Windows or you don't have a version of Windows which has the compression with it, you can download a program like 7-Zip, or there's other compression programs that you can use, WinRAR, and you can use that to compress your file. Okay, so let's look at the other way. So say we're going to start a project, a new project. Say it's a C# project, and it's a Windows Form application, and we'll give it a new name, and we want to make sure that we know where it's going to be saved at. In this case, it's going to be saved in under my documents and under Visual Studio, in this case 2010 or 2008, 2012, whichever you're using. And it will give it, the folder will have the name TestZip. Okay. So after you have that, you can go ahead and design your program, add any coding, make sure that it runs okay. And once you have it running, now what you need to do is to go find that folder, and I'm going to use Windows Explorer to do that. And if I look under projects, there's one called TestZip. And what I can do is that I can right click that, and I can send that to a compressed zip folder. Okay. At this point, I can rename that and upload that. And that's all there is to it. Make sure that you can see the file extensions, the characters after the dot, and that will do it. So what we did is that we went in, we looked at creating an assignment and then compressing or zipping that assignment.